The movie begins in Paradise, California, a beautiful region surrounded by vast forests stretching nearly 100 kilometers. In the middle of these woods, on a November evening in 2018, we see a school bus. The driver, Kevin, drops off all the children after school and finally parks the bus in the Paradise City parking lot. At the office, his boss Ruby reminds him to be back the next morning at 6 a.m. for his shift. Kevin, a little hesitant, asks her if there's any chance for an extra shift. "I really need some more hours. I need the money to cover the bills at home." But Ruby shakes her head. "Nothing available right now. If something comes up, I'll let you know." Disappointed, Kevin leaves for home. When he arrives, Kevin gets a call from the vet. The doctor tells him that his dog's cancer has now spread throughout its body. Saddened, Kevin rushes to his dog, gently lifts him into his arms, and carries him inside. His mother, Kat, tells him that his son, Shay, also came home early from school because he wasn't feeling well. But Kevin believes Shay faked being sick just to skip class. Angry, he goes to Shay and tries to reason with him. "You're 15 years old now. You need to start being responsible." But Shay, blasting loud music, snaps back. "You were careless too. I'm just like you." The words hit Kevin hard. He realizes Shay might be right, and with regret, he begins to cry. Later that evening, Kevin takes his dog to the vet, where he spends the last precious moments with his best friend and finally loses him forever. Meanwhile, strong winds sweep across the mountain region. A power line breaks, and a single spark ignites a raging wildfire that spreads rapidly. The next morning, Kevin returns for his shift. Ruby reminds him once again, "Don't forget to take the bus in for servicing after your run. It's due for maintenance." After that, Kevin drives off with his school bus. Meanwhile, on the road, a truck driver notices the wildfire spreading fast through the forest. Alarmed, he radios the control room to report it. The control center checks the cameras, confirms the fire, and within minutes dispatches their firefighting teams to the scene. But the fire is far away, and fueled by the power lines, it spreads faster and faster. The firefighters take dirt back roads to cut the distance, but soon they find the road blocked and are forced to turn back. Kevin, in the meantime, has already picked up all the kids along his route and drops them at a school deep inside the forest. Just then, Kevin receives a call from his mother. Her voice is panicked. "Shay's getting worse. He's been vomiting nonstop. You need to come." At the same moment, Ruby calls Kevin from the depot, saying, "The mechanic's here. You need to bring the bus back for servicing." Kevin is torn between duty and family. Meanwhile, Fire Chief Ray and his crew return to base, desperately trying to find another way to reach the blaze. But suddenly, another fire outbreak is reported in a different area. Chief Ray radios one of the field engineers stationed there. The engineer replies in a tense voice, "It's spreading too fast. I'm trying to get people out in their cars toward the city. Those without cars, I've loaded them into my truck." But the fire closes in, engulfing everything. With no other option, the engineer and the trapped civilians jump into a river, clinging to life as flames roar overhead. Chief Ray immediately deploys air tankers to the site. Massive planes swoop in and dump water and retardant from above. But the fierce winds fan the flames uncontrollably, rendering even the air drops ineffective. Kevin, still torn between duty and family, stops at a pharmacy on his way back and buys medicine for Shay. But as he steps outside, a convoy of fire trucks speeds past, sirens blaring. The sight shakes him. In panic, he calls Ruby and pleads, "Please, I need to go home first. My son's sick. It's serious." But Ruby snaps back firmly. "If you're late, Kevin, you'll lose your shift and maybe your job." With no choice, Kevin continues driving. Up ahead, he spots the glowing wall of flames rising higher, creeping closer to the city. His heart pounds. He pulls out his phone and records a voice note for Shay. "Son, I'm sorry. I might be late. Watch the news, keep track of the fire. And if things get worse, take Grandma and go to the government's safe house outside the city. Promise me." Meanwhile, at the school, the teachers realize the danger. One by one, parents rush in to collect their children. But 22 kids remain, whose parents are out of town. They need to be evacuated immediately to a safer school in the city. Desperate, Teacher Mary calls Ruby at the depot for help. At that moment, Kevin's phone rings. It's his ex-wife, Linda. Her voice is heavy. "Kevin, I know it's been hard for you since your father passed. But think about Shay. Your life's been falling apart, and now he doesn't even want to live with you." Her words cut deep. Kevin, trembling with guilt, records a quick note for his son. "I'm coming home, son. I promise. I'm turning back right now." He turns the bus toward home, but just then, Ruby's voice crackles through the radio, urgent and strained. "We need help. There are 22 children trapped at the school with no way out. Please, anyone take this route." Kevin listens as one by one, the other drivers refuse. They're all too far away. Kevin grips the wheel, torn apart inside. His own son needs him, but so do those children. Finally, after a long pause, Kevin exhales hard and speaks into the radio. "I'll do it, Ruby. I'll take the kids." Relieved, Ruby responds softly. "Thank you, Kevin. You just saved lives." Moments later, Kevin pulls into the smoke-filled school parking lot. He rushes to Mary, the teacher still waiting with the kids, and yells over the roar of the fire. "Get them on the bus. All of them now." As the children scramble aboard, Kevin looks at Mary and insists, "You're coming with us. I can't handle 22 kids on my own." Mary, still anxious, admits she needs to get to her family as well. She quickly informs the principal, then climbs aboard Kevin's bus with the children. By the time they pull out, however, the main road is already completely gridlocked with cars. The sight of the jam and the flames pushing closer forces Kevin to make a split-second decision. He veers off to find another route. Inside the bus, the children begin crying in fear. Kevin glances at Mary, who is moving through the rows, trying to calm them down. He grips the wheel tighter and promises that he will get every single one of them out safely. As they drive, Kevin and Mary talk quietly. She admits she has a 15-year-old son of her own, and she was supposed to pick him up herself, but now her sister will have to. She only hopes her sister got to him in time. Seeing the terrified faces of the children, Mary continues trying to comfort them while Kevin keeps his focus on the road. Meanwhile, the wildfire is spreading rapidly, consuming Paradise City, the hospital, and everything in its path. Back at the depot, Ruby and the others are finally forced to evacuate. The fire destroys communications, cutting off Kevin's radio link with her completely. Chief Ray and his firefighting teams regroup, urgently planning how to evacuate as many residents as possible from the city. Kevin's bus, meanwhile, becomes stuck in traffic again. Smoke thickens in the air, and panic rises as he realizes Shay and his mother will not receive any official evacuation warning. They're not signed up on the evacuation list, and his mother cannot even drive. If the fire reaches them, they will be trapped. Suddenly, a nearby house collapses in flames, sending sparks into the road. The children scream in terror. Mary pulls them away from the windows as Kevin makes a desperate decision. He forces Mary into the driver's seat, despite her protest that she cannot drive a bus, and rushes outside to clear the traffic himself. Running between the vehicles, he shouts and waves, opening a narrow lane for the bus to move forward. Shaking, Mary manages to inch the bus ahead until Kevin jumps back on board, breathless, and takes control again. The children cheer, relieved to be moving once more. Mary even tries to lighten the moment, nervously joking that he would make a great traffic cop. But their brief relief vanishes instantly. When they arrive at the city school, the safe pickup point, they find it already engulfed in flames. No parents are waiting. No safety remains. Kevin grips the wheel, knowing they have no choice but to push forward into even more dangerous backroads. Suddenly, one of the girls begins hyperventilating in panic. Mary rushes to her side, trying to calm her down, while Kevin steers the bus through winding, smoke-filled roads as the fire closes in on all sides. By now, the night outside burns as bright as day. Inside the bus, Kevin sits quietly for a moment before opening up to Mary. He admits that his relationship with Shay has fallen apart, confessing through tears that he has never been a good father to his son. Mary gently comforts him, telling him it's not too late. He still has time to make things right. Suddenly, the The flames reach dangerously close to the bus, and the children begin screaming in terror. Kevin and Mary rush outside with fire extinguishers, desperately trying to fight back the spreading blaze. But the fire is everywhere, and the extinguishers run out almost instantly. Both realize there's no other option left. They must drive the bus straight through the fire. Kevin jumps back into the driver's seat, but to his horror, the bus won't start. Panic rises among the children as smoke fills the air. Thinking fast, Kevin yanks out the air filters and somehow forces the engine to turn over. With one final chance at survival, he slams his foot on the accelerator, driving the bus directly into the wall of fire and smoke. The flames scorch the windows, the smoke blinds his vision, and the children cry out in fear. Kevin's hands burn against the steering wheel, but he refuses to give up. He pushes the bus forward with everything he has. At last, against all odds, the vehicle bursts through to the other side of the inferno. Inside, the children and Mary break into tears of relief, hugging each other tightly. Exhausted, Kevin can hardly believe it. They actually made it. A little later, he drives the bus into a safe evacuation camp. There, parents and children reunite in an emotional flood of joy. Little Toby runs into his mother's arms, while Mary thanks Kevin with heartfelt gratitude, telling him he did something incredible. Outside, Mary praises the children's bravery and announces to everyone that the true hero who saved their lives is Kevin. The crowd erupts into applause, cheering for the man who risked everything to bring them all to safety. Mary finally reunites with her own family. Kevin, exhausted but alive, steps down from his burned-out school bus, staring at the charred vehicle that had carried them all to safety. Just then, Ruby walks up to him, smiling proudly. Kevin smiles back and jokes, now it's really time for maintenance. While looking around, Kevin spots his mother, who was rescued safely by neighbors. She comforts him by saying Shay is safe too. His mother had taken him away, and it's better for his happiness this way. Kevin breathes with relief, holding back tears. A week later, the raging fire is finally contained, but paradise lies in ruins. The once beautiful forests and city are nothing but ashes. Kevin returns to the wreckage of his burned-down home, where he finds a scorched photograph of himself and Shay. He carefully slips it into his pocket. At that moment, Shay runs up from behind and throws his arms around his father. Kevin breaks down, hugging his son tightly. After so much pain, father and son are finally together again. Shay's mother watches from a distance, smiling as she sees them reunited. The tragedy has changed everything. Kevin chooses a new path in life, and with that, the story comes to an end.